Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's wee Paddy from across the Shuck, and you're very welcome back. But this is a sort of nearly a roundup of my year, but I just wanted to speak about the year that I've had as a channel, as a human being. And first of all, I've got to get in my wee friend Randy's not well. He's pretty poorly in hospital, and his family are going through a really tough time. Because it's out of their hands. The doctors have got what they got, hopefully, and with God's help, they'll cure him and get him back to health again. And I pray that. I've been doing it constantly. I really haven't had my mind in videos. I've made a couple of videos, but it's always been there in the background. And especially late at night, I don't sleep well, so I'm a bit of an insomniac. I sit up half the night, and when it's all quiet, he comes into my head, and I pray. I mean, I'm not a churchgoer, I do have my belief. I do believe in God, but that's neither here nor there. Well, it is here nor there, because I'm not. This is not a religious channel. It's not. But I do have I believe a strong faith myself, and I got this given to me a while back, and this has come into play this week. Stuart, one of my friends and YouTube subscribers, who's a minister, gave me this. And it's Ephesians, it's the armour of God. And he gave this to me, and there's the little inscription I can read that for me to use in bad times, because I suffer from depression and all that. It's not a poor me, that's just part of my life. I've had it all my life, so it comes and goes. And I've been using that this week more than ever. I'd forgot about it the first week, but this week I haven't, and I've been using that just to pray with it in my hand that somehow Randy will get the armour that he needs to fight this off. But anyway, we all know Randy. Anybody that's in my channel knows Randy. I speak about him often enough. He's been on the channel. He's a friend. He lives in America. Never met him, but I know him. And I know what sort of a gentle soul Randy is, and everybody else is feeling it. So please, just, even if you don't pray, if you don't have faith, send him really, really warm thoughts to help him, to let him feel the love from around the world. And I know all of us have nearly been doing it, but I can't stop talking about it in my own head, so sometimes you just have to get it out. But Randy, from me, from all my subscribers, you're loved, you're wanted. Get well soon. Just get well soon and get back. We all miss you. And to his family, because I know they've been watching our videos, and I've had messages from one of his little nephews today, and it's lovely. They're keeping in contact because they know how important Randy was to us. So there you go. Right. I could get quite emotional, so I'm just going to stop it there, and I just hope you feel the same way, and you can send out prayers or really nice thoughts to him and help him to get better. So my year has been a great year. I'll have to be honest with you. I don't want this to be a sad video, because Randy wouldn't want it to be a sad video, because he's not a sad person. When he gets on YouTube, he comes alive. And that's, my year in YouTube has been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The goals I set last year have all they've manifested themselves. I've managed to get gold knives that I wanted to get. I got ones I didn't even think I would get. I've traded a huge part of my collection for other knives, so I've changed up my collection quite a lot. And in the new year, I'll I want to do a bit more videos, maybe going through my collection. As Rasputin's castle would say, one drawer at a time. I have a lot of drawers. All my knives sit in front of me. There are drawers either side here, and there's a couple of glass top display cases. So I'll maybe go through them one tray at a time, and we'll talk about them next year, if that's what you're interested in. If you would like that, let me know, and I'll organise that for next year. But yeah, I've had just a marvellous year. I mean, I've probably spent less money. In fact, I know I spent less money this year on knives than I ever have. But that's only because I amassed quite a few, and I've sold off surplus knives that I don't particularly need. A lot of them I don't need as channel knives. As long as I've got one or two or a few of them, I've sold them off. And been able to trade and buy knives that are very expensive. But I'd very expensive knives given to me in the past, from Herman Knives, which I thank him very much. So yeah, I've really been a wise buyer this year, a wise buyer, and long may it continue, because I don't want to increase my budget for next year. I want to just have it the same as this year and trade more, which is such a pleasure to do, such excitement in trading. You mightn't get a brand new knife, but you're getting a brand new knife to you, and it's just marvellous, and it costs less. That's the big point of it. So next year, well, it's going to be much the same. Sadly, if you didn't like this year, it's going to be much the same. And I mean, I've got a few knives out on the table here because I just want to talk about them. This is a little one that Randy sent me. I love this little knife. This is a little Randy knife. He knows I love little small pen knives. I have a wee collection of small pen knives. Well, it's not so wee anymore. But this is in great nick. And I believe was this an old Richards? Yeah, I think it's an old Richards knife. But lovely little pen knife. I enjoy it, and he knows, and he sent me a couple, but this one's just beautiful. I'm sure it's a Richards. I'll confirm that. But what a lovely little knife. Just a little fifth pocket carry. And these are sort of knives that I do throw in my fifth pocket because I think they're just cute. And you can take them out to cut a bit of string, and you don't have to scare everybody in the surrounding vicinity, as there's a lot of feared sheeples over here in the UK. So that's a lovely little knife. That's just reminds me of our wee Randy. I'll put it up there with my piece of holly. I've gone all festive, by the way. And a couple of these. Well, let's talk about this shing. I got this shing. I bought it at Sharp Show this year, which was another outstanding high in my year. Was meeting everybody that I met at Sharp Show. I talked my damn leg off. I was hoarse for about 3 days when I came home. But it was worth every single sentence. I so enjoyed meeting you. And on that note, on Sharp Show, there's big news for next year's Sharp Show, which I hope you'll all be delighted with, because I know myself, Randy, he's in my head all the time, Justin and Mikey will have some great news for you come the new year, maybe before the new year. Depends when we get our next video out. So this is a shing knife that I bought there. He took it back and rebladed it. This is one that wasn't for sale. It was out for show. So he rebladed it for me and sent it out. He actually made a complete new knife, which is just amazing. And if he didn't, it certainly looks like it. It's just a lovely, nice half stop. And it's his version of the Sod Buster. The Sod Slayer, I'm calling it. It is an amazing, and you can see I have used it because it's just fabulous. And I love this Tufnell scales. The only thing with it's not snappy. And his knives are not. They're clear. They're not mushy, but they're not snappy. But he has changed up, and he sent me a prototype. When he sent this back, he sent me this prototype to show the difference in his knives going forward. And I think it's a huge just improvement. This is in micarta. That one was in Tufnell. But this is beautiful in micarta with a gorgeous shield on it. Really lovely. Bird eyes pivot. And I was talking about it the other day. The bird eye pivot is when you got the brass and then a silver or nickel silver pin going right through it. It's usually stainless steel of some sort. But it is just beautiful. Exactly the same shape of knife, exactly the same design. But the difference is, can you hear that? It opens easier. It's not rubbing against the sides at all, nearly. There's no marks of it at all. And just a much more auditory experience. Listen to that. I should have talked there, didn't I? So I've been just testing, fondling, playing with this. Shing, you've made a fantastic. It's a simple, it's subtle, but to me, just going forward, every knife that you do, I hope you do this to it, because it really does make a difference. And having that half stop, I just like a half stop. I don't need to have one, but I like one. But I like one when I've got that snap and that sound that really just makes it for me. So Shing, fantastic job, really. And I love to see, like, especially a custom maker, he's been around a long while, but changing up, trying to get better at his trade. And I just think this is a huge just lift, a real lift. I still love my knife. It's going nowhere. This is an absolute cracker. So there's that we talked about. Now, and this is another one. This is about Sharp Show. This is my favourite little, it's a little what do you call it, LT Wright. I just love this knife. I am obsessed with this knife. It sits on my desk. I use it every single day for something. It's just fabulous. This is one of Dave Ravelin's slips. I just love this little shape. He just molded it to the little blade. And it's a pocket knife now. It's a pocket fixed blade and I love it. But I just wanted to show my friend Tony Tensheds. That's me and Tony Tensheds. We're the one with the extra bit of the extension on our own physical sheds. Good bellies on us there. But this was a picture taken at Sharp Show, and there's Mark MBEDC there as well. The three of us got a nice picture, and it's on my favourite knife, Tony, and it'll stay on my favourite knife because you were one of the nicest new acquaintances I made at Sharp Show, and I can't wait to see you this year. Really looking forward to spending some time and getting to know you better. So that's that. I've done that. And I want to talk about another one person. This is probably a bit more about people this year. Slippy, Slip Joint Sawyer. You know that dry-witted, sharp, just all-round good guy? Well, I'm here to tell you something different. He's just a nice human being. And I've got to know him better this year. And I mean, he's been so generous to my channel. This, you know, the new cup of tea thing or the coffee thing that I put down below. If you want to get a cup of coffee, the money all goes back in the channel. Well, he has been the biggest subscriber to that. And anybody who has put £2 in, there's no difference. I feel exactly the same as you, but I just wanted to call him out. He has really, really helped the channel. In fact, he money in the other day, and I was able to get another knife for the collection. It's an older knife, but with his help. But anybody who has put a couple of pound in, whatever you can put in, it doesn't matter. It just makes it easier for me to buy with my budget. So I just want to thank him very much. And then he sent me these the other day. I've seen these for years, but they were usually the bigger version. I mean, this is a nice small pouch. It's what, about 3¼ inches, the pouch. And it's an old pattern of knife that was sold. Look at that. The knife with 4 blades. They just clip together. I'll do a review on it. I just think it's fantastic. You have a normal flathead screwdriver. You have a Phillips screwdriver. You have a can opener and bottle opener there, and they all just clip into that little knife. This, to me, is your perfect, just, you know, if you want to carry something that's just a little bit different, this is perfect. I'm actually nearly thinking of getting a wee leather wallet made for that. I think that would really class that up. But I just love it. It's a simple, inexpensive knife, but when somebody sends you it, it just is amazing. And it's actually the company, there's a company name on it, and it was from Gillingham in Kent, where I used to live. I spent about 7 years in Gillingham when I was in the Navy, when I was at HMS Pembroke. And he sent me this. Now, this might not be very special to some people, but it's very special to me. I love, this is my new collecting. The older knives that have these little small end caps on them, bolster and end cap. It's just, I just adore these for some reason. Again, inexpensive to buy, but that's always been part of my collection. I like inexpensive, I like expensive, and I like everything in between, and that has never changed. And do you know, it's been a real blessing, because when I don't have much money to buy, I can pick things like this up for 10, 15, 20 quid on Etsy or wherever you get them, you know, on the Facebook groups. I just love it. I love picking these up because they're just really simple, straightforward little pen knives. This is in great nick, and Slippy had got this for himself, and then when he heard me saying about I was collecting them, he just put it in the post. And numerous people have done that to me all over my years in YouTube. This is a really wonderful community. So, you know, when we run down things in the community and we get angry, remember that sort of most of the time this community, to people, and I don't like the word community, but this little family that you breed and you grow, we at the minute over in the UK are on a real growing spurt, and we're starting to get people into the knife community, and it's based on good nature and goodwill and the enjoyment to meet new people and their collections and what way they want to grow. So kudos to everybody in the UK who encourages new members to come in and makes them feel part of the community. And again, Slippy with the Slip Joint Sanitarium, if you're not a member, get over there and join it. It's a fantastic group where people of all ages, temperaments, we have our arguments in there, but that's it. It's just an argument, then it's over and done with, cup of tea afterwards, and we get on. Because any group of men, especially, they get together, they'll fight and argue over who's right and who's wrong. That's just part of our nature. But as long as you don't hold grudges and you move on, that's the best way to be. And I've learned an awful lot of lessons about not holding on grudges because I'm a stubborn old bugger. So yes, that's just, I wanted to thank him out personally. It really was. Honestly, I love this knife. But anyhow, I got this week. I managed to get this because Heine hasn't done them. And then all of a sudden, Moonraker came up and about 3 people messaged me saying they were up on there, and within a minute of them doing it, I had gone and bought it because it's the knife I was looking forward to. This is a case. It's a 2024 pattern. It's the Barlow, which you know I love a Barlow. But look at the colour on that. And that's barnboard jigged. Just the most beautiful green on it. And being as I'm a Paddy channel, it's beautiful. But look at that. It's a Barlow. And it's got the stamp, the case stamp on it. Let me get that. It's not really... There you are. You can see that lovely case stamp on it. A bow tie, I've heard it called. I tend to think of it as London Underground. That sort of signage that they have in London, although it's a bit squared off. But there we go. Call it what you like. Hot dog is probably the one that I know it more as. The hot dog stand. That's your bun and your sausage hanging out either end. But there we go. It's called whatever you wanted to call it. But it's a single blade Barlow. And I can't believe Case we're going to put these into the vault. The most popular knife probably bought, you know, barring the old famous Trapper. But look at that for a beautiful knife. And I just want to tell you that this was bought from a shop, so I didn't get to see it, which I like to do with a case. The fit and finish on this is unbelievable. It is perfect, and I mean perfect all the way round. Look at that centering. That is right up the middle. I don't think I've ever had a more centered case knife. It is beautifully done. Absolutely beautiful. Just look at these big spun, and they seem to be bigger than normal to me, or whether it's just the green that's making them stand out. You have 2 of the smaller pins and 2 big spun ones. They're not completely flush. Not that it matters because they're round and you don't feel them. But they're just lovely looking. It just adds something to the knife. But every detail of this, I'll have to say, the edge was maybe not great, but it's great now because I sat last night when I was talking to Mikey and I put a lovely edge on it. Nice even bevel now. Absolutely love it. This will get a lot of carry time this year. And I'm hoping, did you hear that snap on a case knife? Brand new. It's fantastic. I'm hoping that we're going to see more case knives coming out with this sort of... now, I bought this from Moonraker. And I bought a couple of knives from Moonraker, and the service is second to none. And I want to call him out. It's a man and his wife. Oh, I've forgotten their names, which is nothing unusual. It came with a nice case bag. It also came with a shopping bag, which is another brand that they sell off. I'm not sure. Linder Soligen, a German company. But a lovely bag, the man bag that I can carry just to scare people with, because there's a knife on the front of it. But I love carrying it. So, I mean, this is just a review. I'll obviously do the review. I've only just got it. I sharpened it last night, so I'll be carrying it for the next few days and give it some use and see what it is. Because the other big thing about this year, while I'm opening, this is a Boker. But the other big thing about this year, I decided, you know, I'm getting too old now. What's the point of having safe queens or knives that I don't use much? I am using every single knife in my box, barring one. Because it's got the Damascus blade on it, and I really don't want to wreck that because it wouldn't look good to me. And it's got ivory handles, so delicate, don't want to drop it. But that's the only one. That's the only one. I can see they're getting traded this year because I don't want an only one. So there we go. So, and then I got this one the other week, and I showed it on my on the Paddy and Pals podcast, which is another thing I want to talk about too. This is a little Boker Barlow, they call it. Now, it's got a liner lock, you can see there, and it's got a pocket clip. And this little knife fits into a 5th pocket beautifully. You can clip it right in. It's deep carry, you don't notice it, but what a fantastic little knife. Now, it's a front flipper. I don't like front flippers, as anybody who knows me knows. I can do this every time. It's just amazing. But you can also do the Mrs. reach around, and it flops out there. But look at that blade. I love a clip blade, but look at that hollow clip blade. That looks like a really, take that off. It's like just a power boat, a speedboat just going through the water. I just think it's gorgeous. Absolutely. That's what a clip should look like. It really is it's like a mini Buck 110. I love their clip. But this is lovely. This is titanium micarta. It costs £48. I just think it was a no-brainer for me, because that's a 5th pocket carry every day of the week. Just beautiful little knife. So I love that. You'll do a full review on that. But as you can tell, it's probably going to be quite good, shall we say. So, yeah, the podcast has been another. Having Mikey join me and Justin was a bit of a, for me, look, anybody that knows me, the podcast is my baby. I love the podcast. I love the people who get coming on it. I love the amount of people we have there. It's not about getting new members, because new people are coming to the podcast each week, a couple at a time. We're not growing exponentially compared to everybody else. In fact, we're steady, and we just keep growing a little bit at a time. And we're coming up to 100 shows. I think it's the beginning of next year. It's going to be 100 shows, which I just find amazing. And we don't miss many weeks. We really don't miss many weeks at all. So we left off on Thursday, which is the last one before Christmas, because there'll be none this week, unless there might be a one next week on Thursday, but that's not definite yet. 2 of us are free. The other one isn't, but we might just do one on the Thursday. But anyhow, it's Mikey joining us has made us a complete little family, and we have had so much fun, so much interaction off air, and we really have become a real tight unit, and all 3 of us love the podcast. And you become very, very, I don't know, I've become very, it really is like an extension of my little family, that podcast. I love it. I absolutely adore it. And that's going to continue with some fantastic news. It's killing me not telling you, but I want to do it when all the boys are here, because it's a joint thing that we're doing, and we are a team. So that'll come when we're all together next. And today, yes, I got a knife today using the couple of pound that Slippy had sent in. Not a couple of pound, it was a few pound, let me tell you. And I got another lovely, it's a new inbox old German knife. You'll see that he's posted it on Monday, so God knows when I'll get it. Probably near the new year with the postal system over here. But I got that, and I got another little small pen knife, very cheap, like this one, in with the package, and we'll get that next week. So great way to start the new after Christmas knife buying. So there we go. The year has been excellent. I've had lots of knives. If you'd like me to do a new collection thing, one drawer at a time, please let me know. I love doing them anyway. I love getting my knives out for any excuse. So make that a thing this year. If you want to see a knife reviewed, even if it has been in the past, you want another review on it, maybe to see what I think of it after 5 years, let me know and I'll do the review on them. Always happy to do reviews when somebody actually really wants to see one. Are my views going to get shorter in the new year? Probably not, because as much as I make these for your enjoyment, I make them for my own enjoyment too, and I like waffling. I like having a chat. I like going from bits to bits. Like, I'm all over the place. But that's my head. My head's like a washing machine. It just starts up and goes. And if I don't have Justin beside me to elbow me inside and tell me to shut up, I never shut up. And this camera has yet to turn around and speak to me, which is a godsend, because I get to let off all my steam in here. And I don't have much bad steam. I have good steam. This is a hobby that brings me pleasure, or I wouldn't be doing it after these many years on YouTube. I just wouldn't be doing it, but I love it. And I am no less passionate as I was the first day I started. In fact, probably more, because I have more people that I can share with and talk with. And if you're new around and you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel, it doesn't matter whether you've got 10 knives or whether you've got 500 knives. It doesn't make a difference. If you want to share your pleasure in them knives, come on and show it. Start a YouTube channel. It's really worth it, especially in the UK. Let's get the knife promotion going. The more people we get in, the more people we get in. Does that make any sense? Because if people see people from their own country and it's like monkey see, monkey do, that's the way to do it. If we show more and more of our knives, we get, especially in the UK, which is where I'm from, so I'm going to promote it the most. It's one of them things. Now, companies that I promote, I only have two now. I've only two companies that I promote, and they're two companies that I have such pride in promoting, who I thoroughly enjoy promoting, and I can't see that stopping. I can't see that stopping because they're both companies are very much into making knives that people can have at an affordable price. So, I mean, that's it. It's Rosecraft. You'll see over there, Rosecraft Blades, who have been the absolute standout company for this year. Foreign company to me. They're American based. The knives are made in China, but just absolutely fantastic company, fantastic staff in America there. Andy's the designer and he's just belting it out of the park every single week, it seems like, with fantastic, affordable knives. So big up to him, and I hope to continue with them for years to come. It's not a knife company I get sick of because they keep changing things up. They're doing things that other companies are not doing at that price range, and I just admire them. The other one is R.I.P, which is my, there's plenty of other English companies, British companies, and Shing's British, that I'm close with, and other makers that I'm close with, and I'm hoping to build them relationships because I have built them this year, and I wanted to buy two British knife makers this year. I bought Shing and I bought Andy Brock. Very happy. Two beautifully made knives from them folks. Well, I've got two Shings and I've got one of Andy Brock's, and I'm going to get another one of Andy Brock's this year because they're such great quality. And the prices are so much more affordable than going outside of the country to get a custom made somewhere else. So it's just been, and to Michael, I should say, Michael, Ashley, and our beautiful little apprentice, Beth, who's a treasure, who's in her last stages of her apprenticeship, and it's a 5-year apprenticeship. It's a long whack. And I'm so glad to see somebody sticking at it. And I think she'll make a fantastic knife maker, both in the factory setting, but also as a custom knife maker. I think she's got that love for design and passion. It's just there. And honestly, I've had a marvellous year, but for Ashley and Michael especially as a podcast, we got very close to them. I'm very fortunate that I can get knives from them, not at will, but whenever they've got time, they'll always throw a knife in for us, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. And it's a friendship that's built up over years. It's not something that just happens overnight. And so thank you very much to Michael. Thank you very much to Michael and staff and family, and to Andy, and to Andy Brock and to Shing, two new makers to my collection this year. I've set a goal of another two new makers in the UK for this year, and I'm going to get it. There's not a mistake. I will get two more makers this year. There you go. Anything else? Other than I just wanted to thank everybody in the podcast, every one of my subscribers on YouTube. You're flipping amazing, and you've got the hearts of lion to keep on watching me after all this time. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and comment. That just keeps the channel going. That gets us out there. If you don't do that, we don't get the videos out there. It's all dependent on you. And at least half of you that are watching this today are not subscribed. It costs nothing, but it gives our channels a chance to get put out there amongst the rest of the world. It's a big world out there and we're a small country, but the more we can get out there, the better. So, and if you want to buy a wee cup of coffee for the channel, it all goes into Funds for the Knife. Every single penny of it. Not one penny will go anywhere else but to buy knives for the channel so that I can show you and share my passion through my knives. And it's down below the wee PayPal account there. If you, whatever it is, £2, cup of coffee, whatever you classify as a cup of coffee, that will just make all the difference to me in the coming year as well. I'm a pensioner this year too in January. So there you go. All right, folks, thank you so much indeed for just a fabulous year. An absolutely fabulous. I've enjoyed every single moment of it. And to my wee friend Randy, just keep him heavily in your prayers. I don't know how many times a day I think of him and pray. It's just, and it's a nice time to be praying, and a nice time of the year. So anyhow, there we go. I'm away. Thank you so much. What have we gone on this time? Oh, God, I've probably gone on 20 odd minutes, or is it? God, it could be 30. Anyway, I'm away. Have a wonderful Christmas. I'll see you before the new year, but if not, have a wonderful new year, prosperous and just wealthy new year, and get plenty of money for knives and get them on the tubes. Take care now. Bye-bye.